I don't know if I've ever been so indecisive about where to film a video. I've gone back and forth between so many places. I'm actually back home in Minnesota recovering from sinus surgery. So apologies for the nasally sounding voice, but that's what we got going. Since school is back in session for a lot of you guys, or approaching very soon, I thought I would do another sorority video. This is how to land your dream sorority, because I've actually gone through recruitment myself and then 3 years on the other side. So this is like the insider's scoop. If you are going through this, or you know a friend that's going through sorority recruitment, then send her this video because it's super helpful and it may put yourself or your friend at ease before this really stressful, crazy week. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and my tips, and let's just get on into it. So my first tip, do not go into it honing in on one sorority that you want. To be totally honest with you guys, it can come off bitchy, it can come off standoffish if you are only honing in on one sorority and totally shutting off every other sorority, and you may not even realize you may be doing it unintentionally, but you may be doing it intentionally. But when you go to sororities with a negative mindset that you only want one other one, you're gonna make the experience more negative in general, and you may not have as fun during out the week if you're only excited to go to one house. You could be shutting out your dream sorority without even knowing it. I'm a prime example of this. Now, I went in completely open-minded to an extent, but I had one sorority that I saw their website and I loved. And after I looked at that, I didn't really look at any other sororities because I was like, oh, this website is like done really well. I like that sorority. And it's kind of just like you judge a book by its cover and you don't even really realize it. So I had a little bit of a bias going in, but then the second the week started, I completely shut that off and I was totally open. And I ended up finding my dream sorority and it wasn't that one. Don't go into it just wanting one sorority, because you could be completely shutting off your chances of really loving a sorority and finding the best fit for you if you just come in with these prejudgments. And what if something happened if you were only prepping one house every day and then that house didn't ask you back that next day and then you'd end up dropping recruitment week? Like, I see it all the time. So just be totally open-minded and be open to every house. My next tip is to do your research and creep. Now, I know I said don't go into it with these prejudgments, but I say creeping like it's like a stalker thing, but I mean like before your recruitment week, you know, right after you submit your application, go to your school's websites and find all the sororities. You can find like they each have maybe their own websites, Instagrams, Facebook pages that are public that you guys can look at. And that gives you a good feel for what that sorority is about, and you can kind of learn different things that they're involved in. Alpha Chi Omega, the one that I'm in, domestic violence awareness, that's our philanthropy. So maybe that really resonates with you. Kind of gives you a good conversation starter to get into when you're going through recruitment week, and maybe you'll gain this deeper level connection like earlier on throughout the week. And that's kind of key. When you're going in for a job interview, for example, you don't want to go into it blindly and not know anything about this company that you're potentially going to work for. You definitely want to know a little bit of background, have some questions ready that are important to you about this position or the job, you know what I mean? You're going to learn more about them ahead of time and kind of set yourself up for a really good week to have better conversations, deeper level connections, and that's gonna lead you to your dream sorority. My next tip is to put your best self forward. I know that sounds narcissistic of me, and it's not about the looks that matters, but just hear me out. When you look your best and you feel confident, whatever makes you personally feel the most confident, when you look good, you feel good. And it's just how it is. When I took my ACT, for example, in high school, a lot of people just wore their sweatpants because it's an exam on a Saturday, but I actually put my makeup on. I did my hair, I put on a normal outfit. I wasn't like dressed to the nines, but I was, you know, comfortable, but still looked cute. And the reason for that is when I feel confident about myself, I perform better. I'm more confident in what I'm doing. I want to stress that you should not be judged for your looks and your appearance. Sororities aren't going to ask you back the next day because you wore a cute outfit. Obviously, there's a lot more layers, I'm hoping, that you guys connected on. Not as superficial as people think it is based on movies and stuff. At least that's my experience with it. Don't overthink it. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on clothes for recruitment week by any means. But if you feel your best, wear an outfit that you know you feel good in and you're gonna be comfortable in for the whole day, then wear that. This week is all about finding your place that's gonna really elevate your college career. I don't know, unless you're in it, it's really hard to explain being in a sorority, like the impact that it really has on you as a person. This is a huge tip, and I'm hoping that your guide throughout the week tells you this, but in case they don't, write notes. Bring a notebook with you or even just a piece of paper and a pen. Make sure that you keep that on you and write notes as soon as you leave that one house. I know it can be kind of tricky if your school has a lot of sororities and the first couple of days are so hectic that you only have like a couple of minutes between houses. Trust me guys, if you forget to write notes after a couple of houses, they're all gonna blend together and you may forget to prep a house that you really connected with. So my advice is right after you leave a house, whip out your pen and paper and write down even just like little key phrases that will help you remember later on. And then later you'll go back to your notes and be like, oh yeah, I connected with this girl at this house for Bridesmaids. We quoted the movie the entire time, had a blast. Don't want to forget that house. That's gonna help you narrow it down as well, because at some points it's gonna be so many houses you like that you're gonna have to just kind of go with your gut and go with those extra notes that you wrote down about those special connections and those girls that you really maybe want to see again. So that's gonna help you eventually land your dream. This is a huge tip of mine that really helped me when I was going through recruitment myself. When you're at the house, having a conversation with the girl, having a good time, it's really easy to picture yourself in this house. You're like, oh yeah, I could like hang out with her all the time. But think deeper. The thing that really helped me was when I was in that position, talking to the girl in the sorority house, I started thinking about, can I see myself in this house on a Sunday night in my sweatpants, no makeup on? That's when I'm the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. I look like a potato like 80% of the time. And you know, think about it like how you are with your high school friends and your longtime childhood friends. Can you see yourself hanging out on a Sunday outside of recruitment when it's a normal week? Would you want to hang out with these girls? Do you think you guys would get along in everyday life? Girls, listen up. My next tip is to be selfish. This is crucial. You have to be selfish during this week. This is about you and you only. Do not worry about what your friends are doing, what house that they're at, what house that they like and maybe you didn't like. Maybe your mom was in a sorority and she really wanted you to be in this one, but it's not, you're not feeling it, you know, going through it. You have to be selfish and don't worry about anyone else. Like block out the white noise. This is all about you. And that's kind of where a lot of girls get torn up, is because, oh my God, like I'm gonna let this girl down. Like she really liked me. Like I don't want to hurt her feelings. No, of course she loved talking to you because you're amazing. But girl, you gotta do you. I see a lot of girls, for example, joining a certain house because of their friends, their older friends that are in it, and they all just want to join together, and then they end up dropping a year later or even 2 years later because they're not happy. They knew they should have gone with their gut, but they went with where everyone else was going. I see that all the time. So you have to be selfish. Do you, boo? My next tip is don't be too guarded. I know this is really hard, especially for us introverts and us ambiverts. I'm the type of person who's closed off to people until I feel comfortable and I feel like I can trust that person. I'm not completely 100% comfortable being my 100% self. If you can get past that, you are going to have such a better experience. I got over it really fast. That's how I ended up getting really excited throughout the week to go to AKIO because I just felt so comfortable there. This is your time. You are the bachelorette. You know, you have to do you. You have to find love, be open to it. This is a good parallel. Okay, stick with me on this one. So you are JoJo throughout this week. This is your love story. This is your sorority story. But if you really like a house, tell them that and tell them as early as you really feel that connection. And I know you won't probably feel that way the first day, but like throughout the week, tell that house if you really, really love that house, if you really see yourself there, tell them how you honestly feel. If you are really indecisive about houses at the end of the week, make a pro-con list or, you know, just a pro list because you probably really like both of them. See which one is longer. Think long-term, really go with your gut. I know this was a long video, I apologize, but I hope it helped you out because I wish there was a video like this when I was going through recruitment. Let me know in the comments when your recruitment week is. I have other sorority videos. They will be linked in the description box below, or you can hit the info bar up here to see my sorority Q&A. That's also a really helpful video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button right here, or if you're on a phone, you can hit it below. I upload every Thursday and Sunday, so I hope to see you guys around. Again, send this video to all your friends who are going through recruitment, and love you guys.